5 of the creepiest urban legends. An urban legend is a form of modern folklore consisting of fictional stories, supposedly, with macabre elements rooted in pop culture. These legends can be used for entertainment purposes as well as serious explanations of random events such as disappearances. Number 1. So I'm starting with this one not because it's necessarily scary, but because the things that have come out of it are Slender Man. Yeah, we all know it's just a creepypasta, but that doesn't change the murders that have been committed in his honor. He's supposedly a tall man who wears a black suit, deathly thin limbs, and has no face. He can be found in the woods, and if you're out camping past sunset, you may catch a glimpse of him. His victims are all children, and if he appears in the background of a photo with kids, then some of those children will disappear soon. Slender Man was probably inspired by some other urban legend like Tall Man, children of attempted murder, another girl succeeded, and some girl tried to burn her family alive. There was also a shooting in Vegas, so that's why he's on the list. He makes people scary. Number 2. Nam Kwu Terrace. So there's this place in Hong Kong, an abandoned building named Nam Kwu Terrace that hasn't been renovated or redeveloped despite what a perfect place it's in as far as real estate is concerned. The building is actually owned by a major property dealer, so it's especially surprising he's done nothing with it. It's about 100 years old, and the family that originally owned it was forced to evacuate in World War II due to the Japanese invasion in Hong Kong. Supposedly, the building was used by the Japanese as a location to house female sex slaves. It's said that the women haunt the place, and in the 1960s, a young girl came out of the house and started trying to attack nearby police officers. They'd attempted an exorcism prior to this happening. In 2003, a group of 18 girls went inside to spend the night. One girl had an absolute psychotic breakdown, and even when the others fled, she stayed behind. She took on a different personality and voice, but when police tried to take her off the property, she became violent. Murders happen here, 30 suicides, people have bloody visions, and a man in black has been spotted. I feel like this is more of a haunted house story than urban legend, but it's the reputation that makes it legendary. Number 3. Black-eyed children. In the late 1990s, Brian Bethel, a journalist, was in Abilene, Texas in a movie theater parking lot when he heard tapping on the window of the driver's side door. He looked up to see 2 boys, neither of them older than 16. He rolled his window down, and as fear and dread overcame him, one of the boys explained that he and his friend needed a ride because they wanted to go see a movie, but had left their cash at home and needed to go get it. While Brian contemplated how bizarre the request was, since the last movie of the night had already started when he saw the boys, he noticed that the boys each had pitch black eyes, no iris, no pupil. He pushed the gas pedal down and peeled out. He claims he heard one boy yell, "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us come in." He posted his experience on the internet, and people came forward to share similar stories. But if you would like to be the first to tell us what happens when you let them in, good luck. Number 4, the Bunny Man. This creepy folktale originates from Virginia. In 1904, a local mental asylum was shut down due to public outrage. No one wanted to live near this place, and so the reputation really hurt the economy. The government had made arrangements to have the patients in the asylum transferred, but the bus crashed and some inmates escaped into the forest while others died. All of the escaped inmates were found, all but 2, Marcus Lauster and Douglas Griffin. As the search continued, locals began finding rabbit carcasses hanging from trees. They were skinned and partially consumed. Eventually, Marcus was found. Or at least most of him. He was hanging from a tree at the entrance of a tunnel under a bridge. Police eventually found the killer, but during the chase, he was hit by a train. Douglas Griffin had been committed in the first place because he had killed his wife and children on Easter Sunday. The bridge was nicknamed the Bunnyman Bridge by locals, and the nickname still exists. There are numerous accounts of people encountering a man dressed in a bunny suit wielding an axe. Number 5, the Midnight Game. If you really want to, you can test this out, but I'm not volunteering. I found a video of a YouTuber doing it, and nothing happened, but I'm still not going to call the universe's bluff. So this game is sort of like Bloody Mary, but it's supposedly an ancient pagan ritual, which is why it counts as an urban legend. You need a candle, a location with a wooden door, a few drops of your own blood, a blank piece of paper, a lighter, and salt. Here are the rules, and remember, I am not encouraging you to do this. I am just sharing a story. It must be exactly 12 a.m. in your location when you start this ritual. Otherwise, nothing will happen. It cannot be 11:59 or 12:01. Write your full name, first, middle, last, on the piece of paper, and put a drop of your blood on the paper and allow it to soak through. Turn all the lights off. Go to the wooden door and put the piece of paper in front of the door. Light the candle with a match or a lighter and place that on top of the paper. Knock on the wooden door exactly 22 times. The 22nd knock must occur while it's still 12 a.m., so you have to do all of this within 60 seconds. Open the door, blow out the candle, and close the door again. Once the door is closed, you need to relight the candle as quickly as you can. The midnight game has begun. And you have let the Midnight Man into the room. Your only focus now should be to survive. Keep the candle with you at all times. When it goes out, it means the Midnight Man is near. In this situation, you have 10 seconds to relight the candle. You should be moving at all times throughout this game. If the candle goes out and you fail to relight it within 10 seconds, you need to scatter a circle of salt around yourself. Finally, the game ends at 3:33 a.m. If you failed to relight your candle and you failed with the salt, you will have vivid hallucinations of your deepest and darkest fears. You may recover from these. At 3:33, the Midnight Man will leave you and you will be safe. Do not turn on lights during this game. Use a flashlight, go to sleep, use another person's blood, substitute a candle with a lighter, etc., and do not provoke the Midnight Man.